Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get the updates. Nice for today's video. It's Saturday, so I try to do beers off my shelf, Cellar Saturday, and I picked one that I've been cellaring for a long time. It's a 2015 Avery Uncle Jacob Stout. And it was February of 2015, and it's currently May of 2021, so it's a little over 6 years old. So definitely fits the Cellar Saturday motif. It's 16.9% ABV, so it definitely gets you where you need to go. It's a stout aged in bourbon barrels. Anything else I should read? Served 45 to 55 degrees. It is a little warmer than that. It's probably 59 degrees, so a little warmer than they suggest. Brewed and bottled by Avery. Let's see. Jacob Spears, our sixth great grand uncle. The font is tiny. Is credited as the first distiller to label his whiskey bourbon. He built his distillery in Bourbon County, Kentucky in 1790, 203 years before we began brewing. While obviously a bit too late to produce Uncle Jacob's mash, we've instead created something far more complex. In his honor, we present this robust, silky smooth, full-bodied, and altogether extremely American rendition of an imperial stout aged for 6 months in the very finest bourbon barrels. This explains a lot about our penchant for big brews. It's in our blood. And I cannot overemphasize how tiny the writing is. Made that very difficult. I swear I know how to read. This beer can be very hot, fresh. So I'm hoping after 6 years, and I've liked it fresh, but I am really hoping that, 6 years, I'll put it this way, I don't think 6 years is going to be too long for this beer. I think it's going to have held up very nicely, and I think that alcohol will be muted in a good way. This is super sticky. I gotta clean that. Super gross. Anyway. Alright, so I tried to pour that pretty aggressive, which I think I did, and it did give a nice head on it. About a finger and a half. It's mocha, small bubbles, pretty tight and compact. It's light black. There's some brown mixed in is what I mean, but it's a light black, but it's still black. It's in that realm for sure. Kind of remember that fresh as well. I don't remember the last time I had one of these, or if I've ever reviewed them. I know I've done the one that has coffee, Tweak, but I don't remember if I've reviewed this or not. I should have looked it up. But anyway, yeah, it definitely looks like a big stout. Let's get into the aroma. You get hit with a really nice bourbon. And again, 6 months. It's not full year, but it definitely has that nice bourbon. Good vanilla from it. Nice milk chocolate. And that was a pretty quick sniff. And I got that much, which is, I think, very telling how aromatic this beer is. Man. There's some of the oak itself coming through. Light coconut. A lot of caramel. That's the thing that, that sweetness is definitely coming across as a caramel thing. Still has that vanilla, still has that chocolate. So in some ways, candy bar-like for sure. But then that wood does a really nice job of cutting through some of these sweet aromas. Man, it reminds me of a Twix bar, actually, kind of in that smell. I don't know if the grain bill is adding something that's making me think of that crunchy cookie part or something, but definitely the caramel and chocolate. But even that cookie part of a Twix bar, it's not full-on pastry style. This would predate really that being a style that's prevalent, but it has those. And I've said this before in the reviews, and I kind of hate saying it, but the adult version of a pastry stout. And I do think pastry stouts are totally fine. I like them. It's not me crap talking them, but the elevated version or whatever, the more nuanced version, or whatever way you want to word it, but it's that version in the aroma. Let's see about the taste. Cheers. I'm glad to say I was 100% right. It does have that warmth in the chest, though. This is going to be a sipper, for sure. But on the taste, at least for a sip, on the taste, I'm not getting hit with a lot of booze. So I really appreciate that. In the style, I don't mind some booze, but again, the big ABV in this beer, fresh, you can get that. And yeah, this is aged nicely. And I'll do another sip and really, keep breaking it down. But even from that initial sip and everything I remember from it and experienced, there's a lot going on. And it's very similar to the aroma. I got the slight coconut, I got the caramel, I got the chocolate, a little bit of coffee, so that roast is still kicking and really nice. Definitely the wood, especially the finish. So it helps dry this beer, this relatively sweet beer out, which is awesome and something needed in this beer. So really well done on that note. A little ashy, a little tobacco-y, which is cool. So you're getting these sweet notes, you're getting some savory notes. Again, like I was saying, and I love pastry. How many times can I say, and again? I love pastry stouts, but this is that, more refined, a version of it. It's just, man. And it's not full-on syrupy, but it's starting on that journey. Almost like a little charcoal note too, with that smoke as it finishes, and that's helping with the dryness too. Like I was saying with the wood, that slight coconut. But I'm trying to think like how else to explain it. Like I've been very fortunate. I've been able to travel to a lot of countries, and it makes me think of some of the sweets I've had in European countries, where the American way can so much be the indulgence, arguably overindulgence, like super sweet, super decadent. And sometimes it takes me aback when I've been in Europe and I get a dessert and it's like, oh, this is not overly sweet by what I'm used to, right? And that's kind of what I mean by this beer is it has all those elements, just like it has all those elements you think about in a pastry stout. And again, the more American dessert, whatever, it always sounds judgmental. But it has all of those essences crafted so beautifully, so hard. I mean, it's a complicated beer, but it's so harmonious. And it's not like the flavors are muted either. And I think that's the big thing that is what I'm struggling with to convey. It has the depth of flavor that you want, but yet it's not cloyingly sweet. It's not. It is reserved enough, and it has enough of those dry elements again, and also the alcohol that it really works. And yeah, I have another from this year, and I have a 2016, and I'm in no rush to drink either of them. Not in a bad way, but in a very good way, because this beer is holding up, and I think it's going to continue to reward me. I really like how this is drinking. And, if you watch a lot of these Cellar Saturday reviews, I've mostly been either rewarded with the cellaring and the aging, or it's like as good as I remember it being fresh. There's been some duds. It's going to happen. But this one is definitely better than it is fresh. So definitely rewarded with the 6 years. So I'm super stoked on this. I'm really excited to keep sipping this for the rest of the evening. Have you had this beer before? Have you had anything from Avery? Have you had anything from Avery lately? Talk about a brewery. I haven't bought anything of theirs in a while, and that sucks. And I am thinking about some of these brewers. I used to buy a lot of their stuff, and how I haven't in a while, and I should remedy that. So yeah, any thoughts like that? Comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So always please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.